Every professional athlete is jealous of NBA players because NBA players make a lot of money and they make money on their shoes. It's just one big revenue stream. And, NFL players wear helmets and masks, and outside of quarterbacks, they don't get a lot of money for endorsements. Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell, who I think is the best running back in football, said, "I'm what Steph Curry is to basketball." And my takeaway was, oh my God, he doesn't have a clue. The poor guy's delusional. Listen, Le'Veon Bell's a great running back, and people watch his style, which is really, really patient. That doesn't equal Steph Curry globally changing basketball because every little kid now thinks he can be an NBA player. He's shifting the global game of basketball. Le'Veon Bell, he's really patient as a runner. Remember, basketball, the NFL is a coach's league. It's a coach's league. 95% of NFL players end their careers after 4 years, are indistinguishable, and you, outside of quarterback, can name on two hands players that even had a style. Wilt Chamberlain and Shaq forced the game to change rules. Think about the NBA. I can, on the top of my head, think about several players in the NBA that had, shots that are memorable. George Gervin's finger roll. Kareem's skyhook, Magic's no-look passing, Iverson's crossover, LeBron's chase-you-down blocks off the backboard, which he used to do about one a game his first 6 years in the NBA. The NFL, Le'Veon Bell's patience, it doesn't really stack up. The NFL, if you talk about the NFL and who has changed the game, NBA players have changed the game. They've changed. There's been rule modifications based on players and size. Right now, there's talk, should we move the three-pointer out because Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are so good at hitting the three, they're discussing whether maybe we should move the three back. In the NFL, if I said, who are three people that have literally changed the game? Paul Brown, first guy to use game film. Bill Walsh, West Coast offense, duplicated multiple decades, and Bill Belichick, who has created a system that's less talent dependent. In fact, I was thinking this morning about football players who have really changed the game, and the two that came to mind, one of them wasn't even a great player, was Michael Vick. When Michael Vick broke into the league, it made every general manager pause, some briefly, some not so briefly. General managers went, well, we've never had that at the most important position. We've never had a guy who may be the fastest player on his roster play quarterback. And I think high school coaches, college coaches, and NFL coaches watched Michael Vick and had discussions amongst themselves about maybe that wide receiver we have in high school, maybe we should put him at quarterback. We've never thought about that. Michael was a little small, probably couldn't take the beating, wasn't the refined pocket passer, but he changed the way high school, college, and pro, even if briefly, looked at the position. And the only other player I can think of is Lawrence Taylor for the New York Giants, who made the blind side tackle, the left tackle, the most important position after quarterback in the league. You didn't talk a lot about left tackle. I mean, it was obviously important, but Lawrence Taylor, because he would obliterate your quarterback, literally, the movie Blindside, Lawrence Taylor helped create the phenomenon of the left tackle. And I'm not saying it wasn't big before then, but it was discussed a lot more after Lawrence Taylor. But Le'Veon Bell's a really good back. I think the best running back in the NFL. And he's incredibly patient. He's got a unique kind of patient style. But it doesn't compare to a George Gervin finger roll or a Jabbar hook or the Michael Jordan tongue or the Magic no-look passing or the Iverson crossover. Basketball, and this is depressing for football players, but basketball players are more memorable, are more important for the sport, are more stylish, are paid for equipment beyond their style, and football players are much less distinguishable on average. Gronk is a rarity, a nickname, commercials, a brand, and he touches the ball 4 or 5 times a game. That is very rare in the history of football.